I'm standing here behind a F-150 Lightning, but this is not just any ordinary Lightning. This Lightning is powering something extra special, Lattes and Literature, a coffee shop and bookstore. We're gonna learn all about this right now. Let's go. We are here in Colorado Springs at the Pikes Peak International Raceway to see the Super Mustang Mach-E by Ford Performance. So excited, but right now we are being treated to some delicious coffee that is being powered by a Lightning, made by Eliza with Lattes and Literature. Be sure to check out our other videos, all in this Pikes Peak realm. We're gonna be covering the Super Mustang Mach-E. We're gonna have some interviews, all sorts of good stuff, everything that we can get. But in the meanwhile, let's go hop inside and get some coffee. Welcome to Lattes and Literature. We are literally inside. That's what you call this, right? Yeah. Or is it Eliza's?
It's Eliza's, but
Eliza.
It's Lattes and Literature.
And this is Eliza, Elizabeth. So excited to meet you and to learn about this amazing place that you created.
Thank you.
Please tell me, how did this start and what are we in?
It's interesting. I mean, it really started with my books, and then when I was taking time off to publish those, I was kind of frequenting all the coffee shops, and nothing really had anything bookish that was in my area. So I thought it was fun. Chatted with my husband about it for a while, and we had an idea in mind, kind of like this, but more of a brick and mortar. And then it was time to go back to corporate world because I took too much time off. So I went back. That job wasn't really working out. So then we were kind of fleshing this idea out. And once the brick and mortar idea kind of wasn't really in the cards for us, we got this trailer and I completely remodeled it with my dad. And then we had a different truck that we were towing it with, but we were learning so much about the Lightning and what it was capable of, and ended up trading in that truck for the Lightning, and it works like a dream. So it runs it all day and can do it for several days, honestly. And I recharge it at home. And
that is awesome. This is honestly one of the most interesting and cool use cases that I think we've seen. And I think it's amazing because this is your daily, this is your job. I'm sure more than 5 days a week, probably.
Yeah, it sneaks in on the weekends sometimes.
I'm sure. And your Lightning, it's not just powering your transportation, it's powering this entire facility, this entire little
it's powering
store and coffee shop. And so, by the way, we're standing under the AC right now because it is really hot. It's about 80 degrees here, but it's not just the external heat that's the problem here. I've recently learned that these coffee machines create a huge ton of heat. So like this is actually boiling hot. Yeah. Poor Eliza is like melting. So it's not just for the experience of other people, but also the books that are right behind Patrick over here. We're gonna pivot and I gotta show you here. These are Eliza's books. So you wrote these 3?
Yes.
That is so cool. And if it gets too hot, these, like the glue would melt,
we're concerned about the glue, so we try to make sure that it's at a good temperature in here.
So like there's a whole bunch of extra challenges that you wouldn't necessarily think of in having a bookstore, coffee shop, and keeping it temperate. Mm-hmm. But I think that's absolutely awesome. And you get multiple days out of your Lightning.
Yeah. Well, typically I recharge it at night. So I take it home and we have the whole charging station there. So I'll recharge it at night, and a whole day operation really, even with running the AC, only runs me about 25–30%, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So there's been a day or two where I forgot to plug it in, but then the next day perfectly fine because there's plenty to go. But I try to plug it in at night. So yeah, it will run me. I've gone 3 days. So
that's amazing. Yeah. That's awesome. I know we've heard that number, like you could power your house for 3 days with your Lightning in a pinch. And now I have a new standard. You could power your coffee shop, bookstore.
You can power your business.
You can power your business. You have your coffee machine, all of your other things here, your AC. And then we're going to pivot a little to Patrick's left over there, because these are what you've told me are for nighttime, right?
Yes.
But when the car isn't plugged in, this is what Eliza has to use to keep it temperate.
Right. So one, in the summer, at all times, my fridge is always on. So I don't want to unload all of my milks and have that be kind of a daily occurrence. So I have my fridge that's constantly on, and in the summer, obviously, if it's too hot, I keep the fan running overnight just to make sure for the books. But then in the winter, since, the weather here is crazy, if it gets too cold and the pipes are prone to burst, the pipes in this guy are very, very small. So we like to make sure that it's warm in here, opposed to, it's kind of crazy to think about today, but it's when I first started, there were a few nights where it was in the teens and in the single degrees. So we wouldn't want this to burst my baby. So so we keep the espresso machine on, and that powers it as well as the fridge. So that keeps the boiler on and hot.
And then the rest of the time you can use your Lightning.
Exactly.
Should we go have a peek?
Yeah,
Let's go have a peek outside. Welcome
yes.
to your Lightning. Lightning Flash. That is a great trim.
Right, right. I do like the blue is fun.
Yeah.
So the frunk's open right now. I have my toolbox just in case, but this is for the chocks in the trailer. So once I'm picking up, I just take the chocks out. But it's nice because I can store all my tools in here opposed to having like the engine and everything. I also have my microwave because I have to eat at some point. So I come over here and like heat up my lunch and then run back to the trailer.
I love that. So this is like kind of your break room.
Yes.
You have your break room in your mega power frunk.
Yeah, exactly.
That is awesome. Wow, super cool.
Yeah.
And how's the trunk doing back there?
Yeah, the trunk is good. So we're plugged in right now. But you can see all of my waters.
Oh my gosh.
But, so
much bed space.
So I'm not. There's a lot of bed space. It's great. But so I have it plugged in. It's got the 30 amp plugged in here, and then that converter to the 50 for my trailer. And then I have all of my extra waters, just because I don't actually, the water in here is only for my hand washing purposes.
Gotcha.
And then everything else is the fresh bottled water that you can get the refills at the grocery store for. And those are actually within my cabinet, which I need to change out shortly. But so this is where I store all of my excess, and it just stays plugged in all day.
I love this.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally your rolling coffee shop library. And please notice the extra cool thing. If you've been around food trucks or things like that, you have to raise your voice. They're loud, they're stinky, they're generators. We're just like hanging out here in silence. And was that any like incentive for you to go electric so people could like enjoy the silence?
Before we had purchased it, we were kind of floating the options because we were looking at getting a generator, but they're just, even when they describe them as library quiet, they're not. It's still, it says that it's about as loud as someone conversing like this, which is, I think the one that we were looking at was about 70 decibels, which is still crazy loud. And if someone's coming in to shop books or coming in to like hang out and get a coffee, like, you don't want a generator like grinding in your ear. So, I mean, it's silent. It's, aside from the AC running, it's silent. So that was a huge drawing point. I mean, aside from not having to get gas and not having to worry about it and anything else, there's so many positives. So that was definitely a drawing point, just because we needed the quiet. So
I love that. I could absolutely imagine just like hanging out here, getting a coffee and reading a book. And I hear you normally have like a little outdoor space. That you
I have the porch, and I have like a folding chair out right now. Since I am still relatively new, we're thinking about building a bit onto the porch to have like a little like bar seating area, which would be super cute. It's not done yet. So
that's actually a question. How long have you been doing this?
So I opened in March.
Cool.
March of this year. So we got the trailer in August of last year, and then over in Ohio, drove it down with a puppy we got in the same area. And went up there with my dad. We hauled it down, and then we spent about 3 months remodeling the inside.
Wow.
And then after that, it was just kind of getting electrical done per fire code and everything like that. And then we were just waiting on paperwork. So
you literally have your own store up to code. Can we see the patio?
Yeah. Let's walk to the patio.
Let's go for a little tour. I can't believe you've only had this for a couple months, because this is so fleshed out.
Thanks. Yeah,
I'm excited for you. And obviously here, electricity is so cheap.
I know. It's so cheap to recharge too. But so this is the little patio area. So so right now we just have the one little folding chair, but it's nice because this whole back just comes right off, which I have leaning against there. There's a door as well if I want to close it off. And if it's rainy or slippery or anything, I just But and a lot of the times if I get a crazy line going and if it's nice out, we have the doors open so it's kind of like entrance and exit.
Oh, it's through. Yeah.
So it makes it a lot easier. But these are my addition. I have a cooler for like additional water for me for like Americanos and like the small bottles. And then this is for my excess milk. So this is actually temperature regulated as well.
Cool.
A lot of the time I have it in the bed of the Lightning and it's plugged in so it can just continually be charging. But right now it's fully charged and on the patio for me to just ease of access.
That is awesome. You have this whole full circle thing planned. And then when you drive, you just pop everything inside. And what is this like towing?
As far as like how the Lightning does with towing?
Yeah. How does
I mean,
it feel?
it doesn't feel like I'm towing.
Really?
it's wild. It's before we had traded in, it's just, and I don't know if it's just the difference between a gas vehicle and an electric or whatnot, but you could just feel the weight on the back, especially with going uphill. But it's wild how little it feels like I'm towing something. And it's not the heaviest trailer in the world. It's about 4,000 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So
you got a lot in here.
Yeah, no, I do. Well, so it's with everything in it, it's about 4,000. And then, I mean, add any water that we have in there as well. But it is also 24 feet long.
That's
so
crazy.
It's typically like that's a lot to tell.
Yeah.
But it makes it really easy.
That is
and
awesome.
the camera system in there helps a lot too. So.
Well, now I'm really, really curious. I want to see everything that you're powering with your Lightning. Can you show us everything? Yeah.
So this is already charged. That's not plugged in right now. But again, a lot of the times that's in the bed and that's charging. So that normally has something as well. I don't have anything inside right now, but everything else is in. So anything that's plugged into an outlet is charging.
Cool. Your sign and everything.
And then, sorry, guys.
Love it.
No, you're totally fine.
And then you'll get some coffee.
But otherwise, everything in here. So we have the grinder, we have the espresso machine, we have an ice maker, we have a fridge.
Back there.
Oh yeah, get a little peek. It's a little rougher back there, but you know, it's for my eyes only.
That's crazy. So grinder, coffee maker, ice maker, fridge. I'm already overwhelmed.
This is actually a second fridge.
Oh,
this
cool.
has a carbonator in it, which is not working quite yet because I want to start doing sodas at some point.
Fun.
So we're still working out the fizziness in there, but there's a carbonator in here and that's cold as well. The drip is on and very hot.
Oh my gosh.
So that's on. Typically, we're recharging the anchors throughout the day as well.
Wow,
yeah, so
cool.
That's another thing. And again, anything plugged in. So I've got the lights. We already talked about the drip. But yeah, any other appliances, the music that I had that was on.
Made her turn off.
But yeah, all of that, all being run.
And then I feel like without any question, even if someone came in and was like, can I plug in my laptop? You'd probably be like, yeah,
it would
whatever.
be fine. Yeah, it's just
nothing.
something into the wall like that is pretty minimal.
Yeah.
So I've had people be like, I need to charge my phone. I'm like, okay, you're fine. But yeah, we organized it because the Lightning has the two different legs for like Circuit A and Circuit B. So each one, I think, handles 3,600 watts. So we made sure to organize it with the electrician I was working with so that it doesn't pull too much on either leg and kick off. So if everything was running at the exact same time, so if like I was pulling espresso shots and I was grinding coffee and the fridge was recooling and the ice maker was running and all of that, it would probably be at about 29 amps. So it'd be like right below the cap. Well, and the AC. The AC is also running off of the Lightning as well. So it's that Circuit A. It's mostly the AC, but also the other thing I didn't mention is my my water pump for my hand washing area and the water heater over there because I need hot water for my hands. So
wow, I love how well thought out you have this.
That's my husband. So
wow, and that you guys
organized it
consulted
really well.
like a good electrician. I feel inspired, and I want to know if you guys have dreamed of doing anything cool and interesting like this, because you are absolutely like an inspirational, like cool success story of like some amazing thing that you can create. Like you've absolutely made magic. And we're air conditioned. So I'm not leaving this trailer for a while. Well, thank you so much for showing us lattes and literature.
Yes, thank you.
Eliza's truck.
Yes, thank you so much.
Where are you normally?
Oh yes, so normally I'm out in Parker, Colorado. Typically, I am at the Stroh Ranch soccer fields from Wednesday to Sunday. Right now, I'm stationed at the horse park because they have an event going on, which is just right down the road. But typically, Wednesday to Sunday, about 7 to 2 at Stroh Ranch soccer fields.
And what are you on Instagram and all your social?
Yeah, Instagram is Eliza's Lattes and Literature with periods in between.
Epic.
Yeah.
Go track her down. Come out here. The coffee is delicious. The story is super awesome. It's silent. It's cool and refreshing. And I'm so glad we got to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.